Hey folks, welcome to Off-Road Stuff. Hey, I just want to give you guys another quick little update on the tracker here. So, yeah, basically I got the front axle under it. It's about sitting on its own weight right now, like 1 or 2 pumps on the jack, and it'll come off the jack stands. All the mounting brackets are either just tacked in or clamped in place for the time being. Hoping to get it up to my work so I can finish welding everything solid here in this next week. I did run into a small issue with the leaf springs because they are pretty much flat. I need to add a couple of other leaves to them, so I have some clearance for my frame. I'll show you here in a second. But the other problem that I'm running into is that the stock U-bolts aren't long enough to accommodate extra leaves. So now I'm kind of in this little conundrum of, do I just buy longer bolts so that I can put the springs in there and finish all the mock-up and all that stuff, or should I just get the flip kit, which probably sounds like the best way to go, you know, for the price, and the only downside to that is just time waiting on shipping. So it'd be like at least another week before I see them if I order them. I reached out to a few of my local Toyota guys here, and nobody had any extras, which is, you know, hey, it happens. Everybody, you know, you ding them up, you replace them, stuff like that. So anyways, I'll get you guys in here. We'll get down underneath there, and I'll show you kind of some of the stuff I did over this last weekend, some of the steering stuff. All right, so starting on the front here, see all this, I don't know, mess of metal going on here. So all this stuff's just tack welded in place right now because I'm having problems with my generator powering my welder. So I didn't feel confident trying to finish welding all this stuff. So everything's just kind of tacked in place, which is fine. So all the stuff is going to get welded, plated, all that kind of stuff. So I'm not worried about it. Coming over here, you can kind of see, yeah, there's not much room right there. So that's why I'm gonna add some leaves to that and give it a little extra bump, give it some more strength. I'll probably end up trimming the corner of this off anyways. Once I get this all done, I'll probably come in here and kind of cut that and plate all this in, just so I don't have to worry about any upflex and interference right here. What else? Let's see. Well, you can see I got the tires on. This side already had a hub on it, so that wasn't a big deal. I just threw this tire on real quick. The other side, I had a hub that I purchased off of eBay a while back. So I did need a bearing. It already had an inner bearing, and this is all for mock-up. So when I get ready to do the gears, I'm going to strip this whole housing down. It's getting all new bearings, all that kind of stuff. So this is all just for mock-up. I went and got a cheap bearing, threw in there. As you can see, I just kind of put 3 lug nuts on there just to hold it on. And anyway, so I got it on there so I could check for clearance and all that kind of stuff. Was able to get my steering. I put the high steer on here. I picked this kit up from a gentleman that I met out wheeling. His name's Todd. Pretty cool dude. He's got a pretty nice 4Runner. Maybe I can get him to let us do a little walk around here in the future. Anyways, so those are pretty easy to put on. There's 100 other videos on how to do that. You do not need to replace the studs. These are the OE Toyota studs on there. They worked perfect. Anyways, so I was able to use the original center shaft. I had to shorten it just a little bit, and then these are all makeshift pieces. I believe this is like a 79 link. I think this is out of a 79. And then the center section I made myself. I used the stock tracker end here. All right, so let's look at this. So that's right lock. Come in here and I I got good 2, almost 3 finger space there, so I'm pretty good. I got plenty of room upwards here. I don't think I'm going to have any issues because I'm probably only going to run about 3 inches of up travel. Let's turn the wheel the other way. So I got plenty of room back there. And this fender here, 3/4, but that fender's kind of bent a little bit. So, but I still think I'm going to have plenty of clearance because if you look at it from the side, that up travel from here and with the shackle in the front, it's gonna kind of move that way anyway, so I think I'll be all right with all of that. And once I get everything kind of double checked, probably gonna come in here and cut this whole tower unit out because it won't do nothing. It's kind of in the way, and it'll kind of help access stuff that's back behind here, like the steering rod, and if I have to work on the exhaust, stuff like that. Same thing on this side, so I can pull this guy out, and then if I need to get in there for the alternator or anything like that, it'll make it easier. One more thing that I am going to have to do is, let me see if I can get in here. So the cross member, I got about 2 inches right there. So but I got a lot of room under here, so I'm gonna probably come in here and cut it somewhere right about where that oil stain is. Give me about 1 inch or so underneath the oil pan, and then flatten it out, and that should give me plenty of clearance. Like I said, I'm only going to go with about a 3 or so inch up travel, so I should be all right. Well, there it is, folks. That's pretty much what I've got done since the last video. It's pretty much what I did over the 4th of July weekend. Yeah, like I said, hopefully I'll get some more of this stuff dialed up this coming week, if I can come across some U-bolts that'll work for this, little scenario I have. One thing I just figured out, I was looking at it, my son came out, we were standing here talking, I was kind of telling him all the same stuff that I just told you guys. So I'm looking at this spring right here, okay, and it don't look like it's doing a whole lot other than, like the contact patch on this thick spring is pretty much right here where the U-bolts are. So for the most part, it's really just acting like a lift block for the most part. So come over here, got another set of springs. Good old Taylor helped me out again. I believe these are the ones that was on his XJ. So if you guys can see, these are a lot thinner. And what I'm thinking I can do is probably pull out a couple of these thinner springs and put them in place of that thicker spring that's on, because I think this is the same spring that's on the bottom. He told me he mismatched a bunch of springs, and he thinks this is the same one that I have on the bottom of my pack. And so I'm thinking I could take a couple of these, and they'll take up the same amount of room, take this one out, and get more support, give it a little lift and clearance, and I might solve my U-bolt issue. So I'm hoping that'll work. Stay tuned, find out. That's gonna be kind of my project for the week, is to rebuild these leaf packs, get them in there, see how things settle, and hopefully get it up to the shop this weekend and get everything finish welded. Yeah, so fingers crossed. Don't forget, guys, like, subscribe, share with your friends, ring that bell for notification, and most importantly, be safe, and we'll see you. Where are you guys at over there? Be safe. We'll see you on the trail.